Hello boys, welcome back to another interesting video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 12th biology students, and this is for 28th December 2020. As all of us know, we are training ourselves in question pattern assertion and reasoning. As part of it, we are training ourselves assertion and reasoning type of questions in chapter number 3, human reproduction. Directions you know. Answer A, if both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Answer B, if both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Answer C, if assertion is true, but reason is false. Answer D, if both assertion and reason are false. So with that in our background, here we go. Question number 1. Assertion. A drop in temperature does not affect spermatogenesis. Reason. During temperature drop, the smooth muscles contracts and bring the testis closer to the pelvic cavity. So this is correct. Answer should be A. The normal temperature of the testis in the scrotum is about 2 to 2.5 degrees lower than the internal body temperature, as all of you know. When the body is chilled, the smooth muscle contracts and brings the testis closer to the pelvic cavity. This movement towards the pelvic cavity allows the testis to absorb heat from the rest of the body so that the sperm cells do not become chilled and get optimum temperature for spermatogenesis. Question number 2. Assertion. The reason or reasons outside the seminiferous tubules are called interstitial spaces, which contain Leydig cells. Correct statement. Reason. Leydig cells synthesize and secrete testicular hormones called androgens. Okay. Both the statements are correct, but reason is not correct explanation for the assertion. So answer has to be B. Each seminiferous tubule is lined on its inside by two types of cells called the spermatogonia, male germ cells, and serotoli cells. The regions outside the seminiferous tubules called interstitial spaces, and they contain Leydig cells. Leydig cells synthesize and secrete testicular hormones called androgens. Right? Question number 3. Assertion. Each seminiferous tubule is lined on its inside by three types of cells. Wrong. Just now we said 2. Reason. These cells are male germ cells, serotoli cells, Leydig cells. I think just now we said for question number 2. So assertion wrong, reason wrong. Your answer has to be D. Question number 4. Assertion. Infundibulum is a funnel shaped part closer to ovary. Correct? Reason. The edges of infundibulum helps in collection of the ovum after ovulation. Okay, reason is also statement correct, but reason is not explaining the assertion. Hence, this has to be B. So here, in human females, each fallopian tube extends from the periphery of each ovary to the uterus. The part closer to the ovary is the funnel-shaped infundibulum. The edges of the infundibulum possess finger-like projections called fimbriae, which help in collection of the ovum after ovulation. So answer should be B. Question 5. Assertion. The shape of the uterus is like an inverted P. Okay, correct. Reason. The inner glandular layer that lines the uterine cavity is called myometrium. This is wrong. So Assertion is true, but reason is false. So question number 5 has to be C. The shape of the uterus is like an inverted peon. The wall of the uterus has 3 layers: external thin membranous perimetrium, middle thick layer of smooth myometrium, and inner glandular layer of endometrium. So these are the 3 layers that are present. Question number 6, that is assertion. The endometrium undergoes cyclical changes during menstrual cycle. Correct? Reason. The myometrium exhibits strong contractions during delivery of the baby. So the reasoning also statement correct, but then reason is not explaining the assertion, so it has to be B. Question number 7, assertion. The female external genitalia include mons pubis, labia majora, and labia minora. Yes. Reason. The glandular tissue of each breast is divided into 5 to 10 mammary lobes. This is wrong. So assertion correct, reason is wrong. So it has to be C. Why C? The female external genitalia include mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and clitoris. The mammary glands are paired structures, that is breasts. They contain glandular tissue and variable amount of fat. The glandular tissue of each breast is divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes, not what he said here 5 to 10. It is 15 to 20 mammary lobes containing clusters of cells called alveoli. Hence, question number 7, answer should be C. Question number 8, assertion. The type B spermatogonia are called primary spermatocytes. Okay, correct. Reason. Primary spermatocytes complete the first meiotic division leading to secondary spermatocytes. This is also correct, but reason is not explaining the assertion. Hence, question number 8 has to be B. Question number 9, assertion. The middle piece is called as powerhouse of the sperm. Correct? Because of a lot of mitochondria. Reason. The numerous mitochondria coiling around axial filament produce energy for the movement of the tail. Perfectly correct. So it has to be A. The middle piece of human sperm, as all of us know, contains the mitochondria coiled around the axial filament called mitochondrial spiral. They provide energy for the movement of the sperm. So it is called as the powerhouse of the sperm. Question number 10. Assertion. Human male ejaculates about 50 to 100 million sperms during a coitus. Okay. Reason. For normal fertility, at least 40% sperms must have normal shape and size. I think both are wrong, assertion wrong, reason wrong. So question number 10 has to be D. Human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperms, not 50 to 100, 200 to 300 million sperms during a coitus, of which for normal fertility, at least 60%, not 40%, 60% sperms must have normal shape and size, and at least 40% of them must show vigorous motility. That's why answer D. Question number 11. Assertion. All copulations do not lead to fertilization and pregnancy. Correct? Reason. Fertilization can occur only if the ovum and sperms are transported simultaneously to ampullary isthmic junction, that is place of fertilization. So this has to be A. That is, fertilization can only occur if the ovum and sperms are transported simultaneously to the ampullary isthmic junction, and ovum is released by only once a month. This is one of the reasons why all copulations do not lead to fertilization and pregnancy. Question number 12. Assertion. The embryo with 8 to 16 blastomeres is called morula. Correct? Reason. The morula continues to divide and transforms into trophoblast. This is wrong. So question number 12 has to be C. The embryo with 8 to 16 blastomeres is called morula. The morula continues to divide and transform into blastocyst as it moves further into the uterus. The blastomeres in the blastocyst are arranged into an outer layer called trophoblast, and the inner group of cells attached to trophoblast called the inner cell mass. Question number 13. Assertion. After implantation, finger-like projections appear on the trophoblast called chorionic villi. Correct? Assertion correct. Reason. Chorionic villi are surrounded by the uterine tissues and maternal blood. This is also correct, but it is not explaining assertion, so it has to be B. After implantation, finger-like projections appear on the trophoblast called chorionic villi, which are surrounded by the uterine tissue and maternal blood. The chorionic villi and uterine tissue become interdigitated with each other and jointly form a structural and functional unit between developing embryo, that's fetus, and maternal body called placenta. Hence, question number 13 should be B. Question number 14. Assertion. During pregnancy, the levels of hormones like estrogens and progesterones are increased. Correct? Reason. The increased production of these hormones is essential for fetal growth. So this is also correct, but it is not explaining why is it so. Hence, the answer has to be B. Question number 14. Now question number 15. Assertion. A vigorous contraction of the uterus at the end of pregnancy causes expulsion. Correct statement. Reason. The stimulatory reflex between the uterine contraction and oxytocin secretion results in weakening contractions. No. So this has to be C. Assertion is correct. Reason is false. Vigorous contraction of the uterus at the end of pregnancy causes parturition. Parturition is induced by a complex neuroendocrine mechanism. The signals for parturition originate from the fully developed fetus and the placenta, which induce mild uterine contractions called fetal ejection reflex. This triggers release of oxytocin from the maternal pituitary. Oxytocin acts on the uterine muscle and causes stronger uterine contractions, which in turn stimulates further secretion of oxytocin. The stimulatory reflex between the uterine contraction and oxytocin secretion continues, resulting in stronger and stronger contractions. So this is the explanation why question number 15 is C. So this is how we need to arrive at a correct answer, and we can arrive at the correct answer provided we have logic. And for that logic, we need to build up